Oh, hello everyone in internet land. My name is Shane with a CH, and welcome to another episode of Let's Draw Shit. Thank you all for watching the other episode where I taught you how to draw a traditional rose. If you missed that one, you can watch that one right here. For this episode, I kind of asked you guys to leave in the comments what you want me to teach you how to draw. And one of the more interesting ones was people wanted to know how to draw her, or as we call it, hair. So I am going to attempt to teach you how to draw hair. Now you have to realize that hair is a very, very complex and complicated thing. So I'm going to try and simplify it and teach you guys how to draw hair. We're going to draw the hair of one of my favorite queens, Max, because she has this beautiful, like, Marilyn Monroe style hair. Anyways, without further ado, let's draw hair. First, we're gonna draw Max's head. You need to know where you're gonna put the hair. So I started with the head. Let's see. Let's do a midpoint here, so we kind of know where her nose is, and then where her eyes are. Doesn't have to be exact. This is just more for reference, so that we know where hair is going to fall. Because you can see that, like, the wave action happens right around where her eyes would be. So that kind of gives us a guideline. All right. So again, I'm starting with a blue pencil underlay, just, you know, so it can be, so my sketching can be a little bit more free. So a good place to start is where the hair parts, and that's kind of right around here, up here on the temple area. So I start a point there, and then we do like a nice curve for that upper bangs area. So that's good. And then it kind of indents in slightly and go out again, and then indents. And you see it kind of has like a butt, like a hair butt underneath here. So we're gonna kind of go from there all the way out here, and we're gonna meet the bottom part of where her chin would be. So there, you can kind of see, you know, it's a wave, you know, out, then in, then out, then in, then out, and then meet back at the head. I'll meet you back at the head. Let's rendezvous back at the head. All right, so that's one part. And then we're gonna do the other, start from where the hair parted there. We're gonna go out. We're gonna go in, right where the nose is, the nose guide. And then for this one, it looks like it kind of curves up. So we're gonna go up there, back in. So it's got that little flare there. And then we're gonna go out there. And then we're gonna meet the head. There we go. So that's kind of like the exterior shell, if you will. Now we're gonna go in and do the inner part. So again, starting from where the hair parts, see, that's why it's an important point, see? So we're gonna go up, in, be careful not to meet it, you want that nice gap there. In, and you can kind of go over the forehead at some point, because it's nice, because then it gives it depth. Then you're gonna go out, and then back in, right where the nose line would be, and go out, and then meet the head. There you go. So start from the point, out, in, over the forehead, out again, in, right where the nose line would be, and out, and then back up to the forehead. Now this one, I'm not starting from the point. I'm going a little bit over here, a little bit away from the split. I'm going out, and go in. And this one, go in, slightly over where the cheek would be, and then out again. And I'm not meeting like how I did with the other lines. I'm not going to meet the face. I'm actually going to go out and just leave it out, just because it's a nice little flare. And so now we can focus on giving it texture, because right now it's a nice shape, but we want to give it texture. That's the beauty of hair. All right, so then we kind of just follow the same lines that we've already started or established. So from this point to here, you know, we've got underneath here. So we're just gonna kind of meet the two and do a couple lines there. So you can kind of already see the shape taking place. And I'm gonna keep going with the under hair theme. So we got this one, so we can go follow this shape. There we go, and draw some lines. And you can already start to see it taking shape with some texture there. And now we're gonna go with the exterior, and here's where the real beauty and fun part comes in. So we're gonna follow this shape, and we're gonna follow the inner wave here. So we're gonna follow that. It's kind of like we are bordering it or outlining it. You're gonna do that ever so gracefully. And then now we can just kind of follow that line, the line that we just drew. And then I'm gonna follow this line that I just drew. And you can kind of see how it's building volume and giving it texture. And to make it even more interesting, you can have intersecting lines that differ. So we've got, there you go. And now I want this shape. There we go. Now this one, we're gonna go follow that S curve, that backwards S curve. And then a smaller one, and just the curve. And then here, I want to follow this curve. So I'm just going to do one right there, meet the head. And this one, I want another small curve. So this is kind of how you give hair some volume and texture. Now let me go ahead and pencil this in. Okay, so I've gone in with the regular darker pencil, and I've darkened in the blue underlay, and I've also added a couple more hair lines here, some thinner ones, just to give it a little bit more visual interest and a little bit more volume. And there you go, that's how you can draw hair. And in terms of shading hair, the way how I do it is I go from where there would logically be shadows. So like this is a part that's kind of over the forehead, so it's a little bit closer towards you. So I would start a shadow there. And it's up to you if you want to do it as one big chunk, you know, like that. But I like to do it individually. So one chunk, then another chunk. And hopefully you know how to shade by now. Oh, the shade of it all. You know, you start dark and you work your way towards a lighter shade. What makes hair in tattoos look great and really luxurious is when you have the kind of band of white that's in between the two dark spots. So that is very important. It could either be a thick band or it could be a thinner band, but that is very, very important. If it's towards the forehead area, because I like that to be soft like a real hairline, I won't do, dark on one end and then dark on the other end. I'll just keep it soft. So let me go ahead and finish shading this in. So that is how you can draw hair in my Sailor Mary traditional tattoo looking style. As with everything, keep practicing. One of the things you need to remember with hair is that sometimes drawing it as you see it is not always the best thing, because I know me personally, sometimes my hair can look kind of flat. And so that's why in picture form, I like to make it more boom, more volume. And that's what you should remember. Always, always give it a little bit of artistic liberty, artistic license, jazz it up a bit. It doesn't need to look exactly the way how you see it, as long as it looks good. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below what you want to learn how to draw next. So until next time, bon voyage and happy drawing!